back. He's a 6-time winner, and when he won here last year was off 92, so I think he's capable of being very competitive off 95 today for William Buick.
I think Solent Gateway here is going to be one of the last. Winter Reprise, the big gamble here. I think he might be the final one forward for Simon Holt to call the 5:15.
So the Whirlpool Northern Dancer handicap over the Derby distance, and they're off a day, as is his wont, was rather slowly into stride and is being driven along by Harry Burns as they begin the long climb up the hill. Soapy Stevens is well away, Arenas del Tiempo on the outside, and Winter Reprise is very handy as well with Mascat and Restorer. Then Soapy Stevens now back into about 5th place from State of Bliss and Solent Gateway. Halifon in a white cap, and then 3 or 4 lengths back to Boss Power. Another 5 lengths to Midnight's Legacy, who's well off the pace at the moment, along with the slow starting a day as they continue their journey, and now passing the 9 furlong marker. And Winter Reprise from Arenas del Tiempo, Restorer on the inside. Close up is Mascat with Soapy Stevens and stable companion State of Bliss. Halifon behind these, and then Solent Gateway. And then the last 3, Boss Power, A Day, and Midnight's Legacy on the inside in the black and yellow hooped cap. Still continuing to climb on their way towards the, or inside the final mile, and it's Winter Reprise on the inside of Arenas del Tiempo. Holly Doyle now the rider in the brown with the lighter seams. The grey Restorer on the inside, Soapy Stevens out wide, Mascat between that pair. Then back in 6th place is Halifon towards the outside of State of Bliss. Solent Gateway getting plenty of cover on the inside. And then Boss Power, they're a little better group than they were. Midnight's Legacy and A Day at the back, but they're not so far off the pace now. Running down the hill on the trip towards Tattenham Corner, and it's Winter Reprise and James Dore that leads the way. The horse just changing his legs going down the hill here. Winter Reprise from Arenas del Tiempo, Restorer. Close up is Mascat, black and yellow jacket, green cap on the outside, Soapy Stevens. Then Halifon and State of Bliss. They're followed by Solent Gateway now being pushed along. Boss Power beginning to improve. Midnight's Legacy is going to try and come through the pack, and then A Day at the back. Winter Reprise leads the way. Solent Gateway trying to get up the inside rail. It's going to be a tight squeeze, not going to get through. Restorer with every chance. Here's Midnight's Legacy from the back of the field, cutting right through the pack as Soapy Stevens took it up. Soapy Stevens, Halifon on the outside, white cap, Halifon and Midnight's Legacy now. Followed back in 3rd by Boss Power as they race up towards the line. Midnight's Legacy on the far side of Halifon. These two, it's a duel on the downs. Halifon on the near side of Midnight's Legacy. Halifon's just doing enough. Halifon, oh, Midnight's Legacy fighting back to make it very interesting. 3rd, Soapy Stevens, Boss Power 4.
Oh, we're not done yet, not by any means. Thanks very much, Halifon and Midnight's Legacy, providing a thriller in the race after the Derby. It's Buick and Royston French. Buick the far side, Midnight's Legacy fighting back. Whoa! To make it desperately close with Halifon, who a couple of strides before the line looked as though he'd won it. 3-1 favourite and 25-1. The crowd roar when they see the freeze frame on the big screen. In 3rd was Soapy Stevens. Has Midnight's Legacy got back right on the line? It is, I do not need to tell you, desperate here for the race after the Derby, the Whirlpool handicap. Midnight's Legacy will not give in, much like many of the progeny of his stallion Midnight Legend over jumps. And if he's got back up, that's a mighty performance. And how he threads the gap here, the green, yellow, black colours. Here we go.
For first place. First, number 3.
He's done it. He's got back up Midnight's Legacy. He's burrowed his way through horses. He's got to the inside. Halifon, Royston French, white cap, driving away, masters him. But with that rail and the far side to assist, Midnight's Legacy gets back up by the nosiest of noses. Super Stuff wins the race for the 2nd consecutive year. And he's a lovely horse.
What a superb ride as well from Buick, wasn't it? It could have all gone wrong 2 furlongs out, and he's managed to somehow burrow his way through the pack as things were tightening up all around him. Solent Gateway up the inside was unlucky not to get a run just as he was mounting a charge, and he'd have been involved, I think, with a shot at it. But yeah, brilliant ride from Buick. Got him back up as well.
He engineered his gap. He had to give a bit of a nudge.
he engineered his gap, and it's incredibly tough to do. Fran Berry's alongside me here. Just track him through here, Fran.
Yeah, you can see William in the yellow and green colours there. He's looking for a gap. Nothing's open up. He dives the inside, cuts off 2 or 3 getting through, 2 horses getting through, weakening rivals. Maybe not the Johnson horse, but making that move, Nick, was the winning of the race. If he went around him, he was never going to get going in time, and having the benefit of the rail inside last 100 yards has been key to this horse winning.
He had to do what he had to do. He was a little cavalier with his regard for State of Bliss, who was on the retreat, and it might be that he's in the steward's room again, maybe just getting a day or two for Careless. They came close enough, but not close enough to cause any concern, and he's done incredibly well from stall 12 here, Martin, the winner.
He has, yeah, he's had to take his time, hasn't he, early on in the race. I think James Doyle took them along with Winter Reprise. He's ended up weakening right out of it, possibly not lasted out, but looks like the pace early on is pretty solid. One of them at the back, Adair, can't go with them. And Midnight Legacy is a long way back, isn't he? Long way out of his ground early on, almost detached from that main pack, really.
It does look at this stage, though, Martin, as if William's quite happy.
Yeah.
He's not putting him under any undue pressure. They were obviously going quick up front, and he was never going to. He's a mile and a half. He's a horse that has stayed much further than this in the past. He's been over jumps. He's very versatile, and he knew he was going to come home to good effect. But at some stage or another, Winter Reprise in front was going to have to relent, and without using any petrol, William closes that gap.
He's not a superstar, Midnight's Legacy, but he's incredibly tough. He's very well balanced. He's resolute. He likes a bit of cut in the ground. They're doing their very best to make him into a horse that's going to be quite appealing to people who want to breed National Hunt horses. If he could just be a tiny bit classier.
Well, this time last year he won it off 92.
Yeah.
This year he's won it off 95. So
he's nearly a stakes horse, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's nearly a stakes horse.
He's not too far off.
He's got courage in abundance.
He's got a great attitude. Now he's sitting second last here. Ryan Moore is just in front of him on Boss Power, who hangs in the closing stages to his left. Where is Hyperion? He's in the middle of your shot, just ahead of Ryan Moore in the white colours. Holly Doyle on the outside, on the bottom weight, Andreas Del Tempo. This is just where the race is beginning to get interesting.
Yeah, now there's an interesting moment in a little while. Watch Harry Davis on Solent Gateway. Black colours, the sort of lime green cap. He goes for a gap up the inside of Winter Reprise. It's opening up like a dream for him here. He goes for a gap up the inside of Winter Reprise, and James Doyle says, I don't think so. And that's his race effectively over.
Effectively over. All the while William Buick is making his manoeuvre to cut off State of Bliss on the inside. On the outside, Royston French and Halipon have a clear run, and Ryan Moore in the King Power blue colours, just his horse hasn't handled the camber. He's hanging into his left. Ryan switches his stick into his left, but he's not helping him.
In Epsom, you got to get down and dirty, and I love this ride by William Buick. Yes, he did interfere with State of Bliss, but it's a sign of commitment of a future champion. I think he's really stepped forward the last couple of weeks, William. He's been to Beverley, he's been to Pontefract, he's putting in the hours and riding in the race after Derby. He rode it like the Derby.
You thought the Oaks was close? Hold my beer, I think. Yeah, this is a terrific finish. Midnight's Legacy, 3-1 favourite, beats Halifon at 25-1, and Sophie Stevens was 13-2. The third place horse home in what was a pretty pulsating race to follow the Derby, and we'll need a bit of a time comparison here as well. Haven't really had time to digest the time and the implications thereof of Desert Crown's victory, but I'm sure it'll come to us very shortly.
It should be a fair bit faster. Let's hope.
You would hope so, but you must take nothing away from these two. They have fought tooth and nail. We've complimented William Buick. Royston French has done absolutely nothing wrong in defeat. He just didn't get the bob of the head. He certainly had hit the front before the line.
What a willing horse, though, isn't he? The winner. He's so willing to try and get back up. As soon as he was edged out, he was back sticking his neck out.
All right, here's your